2006. Last week beat Fresno State in 5 sets, swept Coppin State and Sam Houston State, and lost in 4 to Baylor. This week, Cal Poly Volleyball is at the Portland tournament. They play Friday against Idaho, Saturday against St. Francis, Brooklyn, and Portland. And to note, freshman outside hitter Adley Van Winden just got her second Big West Conference Freshman Player of the Week honor. Questions for Cal Poly head coach Sam Crosson.
Coach, last year you always talked about having such a young team, and you know how there's going to be adjustments and experience is needed. Seems like it's paying off dividends this year.
So far, yeah. We're still young. That group of freshmen is not sophomores. But certainly a lot more experience just going through last year. And I think that they, as a collective group, started to realize, that they needed to put more work in, which happened a lot during the summertime. And we, hit the ground running when we started in August in fall camp, just because we essentially had everyone back from last year's squad. So there wasn't a whole lot of nuances to either technical, tactical that we needed to spend a lot of time during fall camp on. And the addition of our freshman incoming class has certainly helped us a lot in some areas. And overall this year, so far, we're making some good progress.
Anything different that just happened at Baylor for the loss, or was it just fatigue? What happened?
I think Baylor played very well. They're certainly a Big 12 team. They're more athletic, they're more physical. The block is bigger at the net than ours is. I thought they served and passed exceptionally well. We had a pretty decent lead in the first set. I think we're at 18-14. A few plays here or there that we weren't able to execute on, didn't go our way, and all of a sudden it's down 2-0, and good to see them fight back in the third set. And again, we were at, I think, 22s or 23s in the fourth with a chance to go 5. So I was pleased with our effort. I think we could have executed some tactical scouting report information a little bit better early on in that match. But for us to be competitive with that team early on like this, I'm pleased at the moment with where we're at.
Sam, over the past couple of years, how hard has it been to kind of keep the game plan overall, like program-wise, for you? And obviously things are paying dividends now. What's that been like for you? Can you talk about the process of maybe building up a winning program?
Yeah, it's challenging. Everyone comes in in their first couple of years and has these thoughts that they're going to make this a quick turnaround, and this is what we're going to do, and X, Y, Z is going to happen because of it. But it's been a process, and this is still I think earlier on in the process. I mean, our seniors right now were the kids that came in when I first got here. Hannah and Maddie were already signed in November, and Tesla was essentially my first recruit. So they've gone through this 4 years with myself and Caroline, and certainly had a changeover with Thomas leaving and Jason coming in, and but it's I would still categorize this as kind of a work in progress. I mean, we have goals and aspirations and things we want to accomplish as a program. I think this is the first real year where both the staff and the players themselves know what to expect, just because we were so young last year, and having all those freshmen on the court at the same time and trying to get them to understand what this level is like, but also win at the same time. And I think we've done a good job this year so far in just kind of narrowing their focal points down to these are the areas that we need to get better at. These are the areas that are going to pay the most dividends for us in the long run, both this weekend coming to Portland, but also for conference. And also just to stay the course, just to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, I know that what we do works based on where I've been. And the players are starting to understand more and more about the nuances and the techniques and the tactics for us to be able to go out and play this game the way that I think we can play and be successful at.
How are you a different coach now than you were 3 or 4 years ago?
I'd like to believe that I'm a lot more patient with them than I used to be. The first couple of years certainly were challenging. I mean, coming from a place like Cal, and we're playing Penn State in the national finals in 2010, and all of a sudden the first year here, it's that record's essentially reversed. Losing isn't fun. Losing makes you question a lot of things. But at the same time, it's had the utmost amount of support from the administration here, from Don. Recruiting is improving for us as we go along. Our 2015 class just got here, and the future recruits that we're looking at right now and have committed. You know, and again, the bulk of this program right now, we're still just sophomores. So a little bit more in terms of, I'm a little calmer when it comes to what to expect. I think our players certainly are taking a large role in that, and they are certainly holding themselves to the standards that we have created for them as a program. We don't necessarily have to deal with a whole lot of outside distractions. We don't have to deal with a whole lot of academic issues. You know, we get to spend the majority of our time now focusing on volleyball, which was not the case in the first couple of years. We had a lot going on internally that we just had to deal with on a day-to-day basis that I think took away from the focal points of us, the program, and that, you know, had some non-desirable impacts on us during the course of those first few years.
How do you feel the teams that you play now, how are they going to compare with Big West teams?
Conference teams, yeah, you know, we're starting to see kind of the last week and this week, you know, some of the same common opponents. I mean, Davis went 5 with Baylor, I think, in the first weekend. You know, we're 2 points away without Hannah Schleiss, who's been our starting opposite for the first weekend. You know, from going 5 as well, so, you know, somewhere in the same ballpark. Irvine, I think, just beat Idaho in 5. We'll see Idaho Friday night. It's kind of hard to tell. Just, I mean, we have access to video of conference teams right now, but it's always kind of difficult to gauge just on video versus when you play them. But just kind of looking at scores and teams this year, you know, Hawaii's certainly up there. They're obviously ranked in the top 25, and you know, just had a 4-set match with UCLA, so they again are going to be, you know, one of the top teams in our conference. And after that, I think it's, you know, who's peaking at the right time after these first 4 weekends are over with, and who kind of gets off to that confidence building start in conference once it starts with the first round, and then you know, make adjustments and be prepared to go for the second round of conference. For us, the challenge is going to be, we start off with at Hawaii and then home with Northridge and Long Beach. So, you know, we're going to get our you know, our starts at conference is going to be a little bit different than, you know, some other teams. But also, I think our girls are starting to look forward to, you know, when conference starts, because, you know, preseason, as much as we'd like to obviously win those matches, it's still about, are we making progress? Because once conference gets here, that's, you know, it's a whole other season to begin with.
I understand you've got some Mustang pedigree, some second-generation athletes.
Yeah. Well, Taylor Nelson's been here. It's their second year. Both their parents are alums, and Adley's parents are both alums of Poly. Both their moms played here at Poly in the 80s. So
Played volleyball?
played volleyball. So it's interesting to start seeing. We have alumni weekends, and now we've got alums who are coming back whose daughters are currently on the roster. So it's a good thing for us.
Yeah. Helps with recruiting.
Certainly.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Anything else for Coach Crosson?